The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick. Please stay the fuck at home. Stay the
What's
fuck
going
at
on,
home.
Mr. Roop?
I'm good, buddy.
How are you, buddy?
Last time we were together, it was right before this chaos started.
Well, funny enough, you were actually first of all, before we get into today's segment, and I give you a formal introduction, what do you think about the hair, buddy?
You went straight 12 Monkeys, Bruce Willis. It didn't even get that bad.
Listen,
it was like a week into quarantine. You're like, screw it. I'm cutting the hair
okay,
right off.
first of all, it wasn't a week. It was literally maybe I'd say this was this weekend. Last weekend, yeah. So I was like, fuck, my hair is getting long. It's getting out of control. I need to do something about it. Fortunately enough, my brother had all this equipment with him. Well, all you really need is a trimmer. Freaking buzzed it right off my head. Kind of faded
All
the
you
side.
need is not just a trimmer. Keep your hat off for a second.
Yep.
Keep your hat off. You need a good shaped head to pull it off. That's the critical piece. And you, my friend, have not only beautiful hair, but a great shaped head.
Thank you.
With that look.
I was afraid when I trimmed my hair. I was like, I hope I'm not balding in certain places, but fortunately I wasn't, so I'm good.
No, if you were balding, you do one of these.
So obviously, this is a special segment, Stay the Fuck Home. For my listeners tuning in right now, I want to introduce Mr. Roop Sander. Roop is actually a really good friend of mine. He was the last guest I had before we all went into lockdown. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
What are you drinking there? What do you got yourself?
That's my nightly some type of green tea, like mint and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a dry cough right now. So I know.
What?
So if I do cough here, don't mind me. But
I'm putting my antivirus on this stuff.
What's crazy? It's like, get coughing nowadays can probably get you shot, right? Like it's the equivalent to that. Like
it's also really scary. Like I was working with a guy and he said he messaged to all of us. He's like, my throat is really sore, right? And I mean, we're frontline a little bit, and I live in a house that's frontline and coming and going. And he has two older parents at home that they're older. They're in their 60s, and one's a smoker and stuff, and not throwing them out there, but he lives with them. And he was really, really scared. I think we don't know what's going on, and if you're asymptomatic or anything like that, so any cough or anything like that, and who's in your house? You got you got old people in your house.
Well, we've all been inside, to be honest. I've been following the rules, right?
Yeah.
I've been quarantined. I've been back in Scarborough. Been in Scarborough for the last little while. So Roop, I'll give you a formal introduction to everybody. Roop used to enforce rules before related to sound and noise pollution, right?
Yeah. I was a provincial offense officer. I'm designated as a provincial offense officer lately in my new role for a very big city. I don't want to say is anything that I say on this podcast, or I'm not representing a city. I'm just giving you my opinion of it. And
Correct.
I'm not a spokesman for anything. I'm just going to tell you how, from my point of view.
Right. So, and having said that, now you are actually enforcing rules related to social distancing and social isolation and making sure that that's enforced, right?
They pulled everybody all across the city, and then they just really had them focus on this, working closely with the municipal police, right? So. Yeah.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit, I think. No, it's fine. Before we get into it, the specifics of COVID-19 and everything, and how are you, man? How are you doing? How have you kind of wrapped your head around the situation that we're in? Because the last time I spoke to you, the one thing that I keeps repeating in my head is when you said, when white people get it, we're fucked.
It's over.
It's over. And this thing went from 0 to 100. Yeah. Right. I think today I was looking at some statistics right now. Worldwide, we're at about 2.1 million.
Yeah. And that's just the ones we know, because that's the ones we tested, but it's probably a lot more than that.
At the time of a recording, which was a bit over a month ago, I think, we were just shy of 140,000. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Well, these are global, worldwide cases, right?
Yeah. And each country, its R naught number is a little different. So
Right.
it is what it is.
So
Like
how,
at this point, I feel like we're gonna get it. I'm gonna get it, right? You're gonna get it, but
yeah, I mean,
I just want to be responsible to it to someone else.
exactly. I think that's the perception, is that, you know, you gotta behave and coordinate yourself and in society as if you have it.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of the cases in Ontario now are really, it's the vulnerable parts of our communities that are being targeted, which are like the old age homes and whatnot.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's the age range is from 20 to like 80 or something. I know
right,
some young people that are personal trainers that are really fit that have got it and went through some bull crap.
right.
I know people that work at Toronto South that are
Right.
super in shape, super healthy. That's a jail. It's a huge jail that we have over here.
Right.
That we're going. Yeah.
No, you're right. Absolutely. And I think that's where I think it's important to, sorry, can you hear can you hear my parents?
No, I can't.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hear them like coming through the basement.
What is
That's what happens when you're living at home with your parents, right? But anyways, you're right. I think that's we've been playing our part on our end, and that's why, like today, for example, I was on Block 2 and I saw there was an article or a headline saying that someone got tickets for doing chin-ups.
Yeah.
$180 fine. So walk me through that. You know, as a provincial offense officer that is now enforcing the rules, what are the fines like, and how strict are you guys when it comes to enforcing these rules?
Okay, so that fine was, I believe it was for fail to comply to an order. There's about 6 different orders on the Emergency Measures Civil Protection Act. That's failed to comply with an order which has to do with using amenities.
Okay.
So you can't basically use any government amenities like parks and recreational amenities, right? Baseball diamonds or benches or anything like that. You have to understand the reason why that's put in place. These places are places of congregation, right? Like let's say that park, for instance, where he did chin-ups. So he said he went to a playground and he did chin-ups on the playground, or I guess it was a chin-up bar there, and there was nobody around, so who am I hurting, right? Those chin-up bars are amenities that the government owns. You have to look at it. You might not see anybody there at that time.
Right.
That's a good chance because everybody's at home where they should be, not coming out using them. So just because you don't see anybody there, it doesn't give you the green light to go use it. Because where's the social responsibility that we each have? If I go use that chin-up bar and I don't see anybody around and it's fine, what happens if somebody else sees me do that and now they want to come use it? And when does it stop, right? Just like that family in Oakville. This guy takes his kids to an empty parking lot for a little skate in Oakville, all right?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, but nobody was around. Yeah, nobody's around because everybody else is following the rules. And how about your social responsibility to follow the rules too? And if other people did exactly what you did, that's where the problem is at, right? You can't have social distancing if everybody's doing what you're doing. You're not special. There's a sense of entitlement with a few people that, oh, I should be able to do it.
Right.
But everybody else is following the directive. That's why we're kind of flattening the curve a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, I think we got some selfish people out there that just think about themselves. They have some entitlement going on. And listen, I mean, I think those people are the problem.
Well, I agree with you. And I kind of want to look at it from, you know, I'm 100%, you know, with you on that. It's unfair for, like, I've been doing my part. I've been staying indoors, doing nothing. So let me ask you a question. Let's say I go for a run and I decide to take a shortcut from, let's say, A to B, and I decide to run through the park. Is that permissible? Would I get a ticket for that?
No, you will not get a ticket for that.
Okay.
Because what they want is they want the movement of people. Be transient through space.
Gotcha.
Be transient through that park. Don't stop. They just don't want congregation. If you stop to use the amenity, that's you're initiating congregation. Maybe you're by yourself, but other people will come. You know, you build it, they will come. If you stop and do chin-ups, the rest will come.
So how strict are you? How strict are these tickets being enforced right now? And what are the fines like? I think it's really important for the people that are, to understand that there are repercussions now that are being enforced. It's not just like a simple warning to say, hey, because I'll give you an example. I've been seeing a lot of videos on Instagram, Six Buzz, Real Toronto News, of people, for example, Brampton. I think there was this one where there's a congregation of a bunch of brown dudes playing cricket.
Playing cricket.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I did.
And you know what it is for them? They think that, there's still this, a good percentage of our population that think that this thing is overly blown up in proportion, right? That it's not a real thing, and they're the problem. Yeah.
Here's the thing with that cricket match, that cricket field. They're not wearing gloves. So let's say one person had it there. One person comes out, and you got 8 different people from, like, what is it, like 15, 12 people from different households. Say one person has it. They pass that ball. It's on that ball. It transfers on that ball. Say 2 people get it, right? They're going to go back to their house. And that's how it keeps spreading. People, I don't understand how people just don't understand that. Listen, there's people a lot smarter than us that are figuring this out. We just got to listen to them, right? Yeah. That's what we got to do. The Americans have this one saying, freedom ain't free.
It's not, no.
Freedom's not free. It's not. And all we have to do, so life's not free either. You know what I mean? All we got to do a little bit is just stay home in our comfort of our home, right? And then we'll have our freedom in a little bit.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that. So, like, I do get that it can get frustrating. Fortunately enough, like, the weather's it's cold. Like for today, for example, it snowed.
Yeah.
Like it snowed. It was like snow 1 minute, and then it was hot. It looked hot, from the comfort of my living room, looking outside. I'm like, wow, what the fuck? The sun's up. And then all of a sudden it starts snowing again, and then there's hail. So the real issue now is going to be, let's say, end of April when the weather warms up.
Yeah.
People are going to be a little.
And I sympathize with people. I got three little girls, man. And this guy in Oakville, I don't sympathize for that guy at all. You got a backyard. You probably got a bunch of stuff. Who I sympathize for is Torontonians who live downtown, who don't have a backyard, and you got families, or you're in condos and stuff, and kids want to get out and all that kind of stuff. And they want, you know what I mean? Like, I sympathize for them.
So are you enforcing rules strictly to the public, or else are you also on the commercial side as well, in terms of businesses that are open, that are not supposed to be open, deemed non-essential?
The essential list came out, the non-essential list came out, and the original one came out. They cut those numbers down, so we're going out and we're enforcing those now, quite a lot, right? Pretty strongly. And there's a lot of those, and their charges are substantially higher. Like you were just talking about charges for just a regular person who is in contravention of this act. Say if you remove like I said, there's a caution tape on something, and you remove that caution tape, that's about $250. Okay. A whole bunch of the other ones, like using playgrounds and being somewhere where you're not supposed to be, being in like a restricted area, that's about $880 with all the money, with all the fees, and then social distancing goes to about $1,200. But those are just the set fines. If you go to court, it goes up to $100,000.
Yeah.
And you can have years in jail.
Have you been a hard ass now with these tickets, or have you been given like a little bit of sympathy here and there when it comes to writing tickets? Do you have any interesting stories? Anything that you've been?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because my understanding. I mean, my past is a lot different, and my understanding of general deterrence is different. I was a correctional officer, but I'm compassionate with a whole bunch of stuff. When the directive comes down for zero tolerance, it's been all out in the news. It's been out in the news. Everybody knows what's going on. The whole world's shut down at this point.
Right.
Realistically, we're shut down. The city's shut down. The country's shut down. The borders are shut down. These are just general things that people need to follow. I do understand general deterrence. I understand that one ticket, one charge gets on social media. How many people does that affect, right? Yeah. A warning is no one might even talk about it, but you get hit with an $880 ticket, you're going to talk about it. That's what they want. That's general deterrence. That stops people from doing it. Right?
Well, that's the important concept, general deterrence, because you're right. Like if you give me a warning, what really makes me or stops me from doing it again the next time?
And you're not going to tell anybody. Who's going to tell it? Right? I smash you with a ticket. Right?
Yeah, like if you slap me with a $2,500 ticket, I'm gonna post that on my Instagram story and be like, guys, stay the fuck home. And if I have like, let's say 1,100 people following me, they're gonna see that and be like, shit, this happened to Sonny. We got to be careful. So it's funny because when I saw that chin up ticket, now I'm like, shit, should I be running through the park? Or if I want to do dips on the park bench, would I get a ticket, right?
And it's not like I don't sympathize to that, man, because I go for runs. I hit the pavement. I've been hitting the pavement my whole life. And we have parks here. I'll stop by the park and I do chin-ups. Yeah. I've done that, right? That's not new to me. That's why there's this quarantine about not going to the gym. I'm fine. I live this life anyway, right? I'm a hermit.
So you're a father of 3 beautiful daughters, and you've been working as well as being home. How have you, like, what are you thinking about when it comes to this whole pandemic that we're in? What is your opinion, or how are you wrapping your head around this?
A lot of times I'm fine with it. We've had to adjust, right? My wife's a pharmacist, so she's frontline.
Okay.
We come home. I come home. I take my clothes off I'm with the public a lot, right? Mm-hmm. People are asymptomatic. You don't want to carry anything. I don't want to bring anything home.
Yeah.
What it really hit me a couple of days ago when my little girl she turned 3.
Okay.
She turned 3 years old, and I have 3 girls, and we've had every one of their birthdays. We have all my family come over, and my wife's family, and we all cut the cake and do all that kind of stuff. Well, this birthday I had to work, and that's not a big deal, but I had to work, and we got up extra early because I had to leave.
Yeah.
I got all dressed up. They all put their dresses on, and I got dressed up too, and had a little dance party, did a bunch of activities. It was over on Easter. It was just different because it was just us, which is great. Mm-hmm. But what the point that hit me was when we had to cut the cake, we did FaceTime with my family, and then we cut it again for her family.
Right.
And it was just like, it's just so unfair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not for me. It's just so unfair, not for me, and not for also for my parents, but like for everybody out there. It's just a shitty situation. Mm-hmm. But it's something that we got to do. Like, I do it. My parents came by today to drop something off because my parents want to do something, right? So they made some pizza, and they came and dropped my pizza. And it's literally like they put it here. I picked it up, and my kids are standing at one side of the driveway, my parents at the other. And my parents, I see them. My parents are like, "Why can't we just take your kids for a little bit, and then once this is over, we'll give them back to you?"
Yeah.
The problem is, Mom and Dad, is that I don't know if I have it or if my kids have it, and I don't want to make you sick.
Yeah, and the thing is especially knowing the fact that you're working, and your wife is working as well, right? Yeah. And you guys are both putting yourself at risk, and you are exposed to the public. Doing your day-to-day job, right?
Yeah, 100%. And again, it's I'm fine.
Right.
If I get sick, I think I'll be fine. I'm pretty healthy. I take my vitamins.
Looking lean there, buddy. I was gonna say.
Yeah, this part is not bad.
So have you been working out every day?
Yeah, I work out. I've always worked out, but now it's the difference is before I was going to the gym, I was getting real bulky and stuff. And my abs are coming out a little bit more, and also I run on fear a lot, and I've been training these guys that really get sick and go to the ICU. They're fighting for each breath, so I really be doing cardiovascular stuff just to boost that up. And if that comes to, I know it sounds crazy, but if I have to get into a fight and I'm going to be on an ICU bed and I'm going to be fighting for each breath and nearly drowning, I want to give my lungs the best fight that they get. I know that sounds a little weird, but that's just how I work, right?
No, absolutely. I totally get that. I think that's why I think it's been a reality check for a lot of people in terms of, our health, our body is our temple, for real. Like,
how about you working out?
Yeah, man. I've been looking. So here's the thing. I've been doing a lot of these Instagram live workouts.
Yeah. We did one together, remember?
Let's talk about, we did, what was his name?
David
Goggins. So yeah, me and Roop did David Goggins workout, and that guy is insane.
Unbelievable.
A very simple workout. Literally, it was anything from like push-ups to squats to lunges, but it felt like 1,000 of each of them. Literally.
He didn't have a count on them. That's the problem. Normally you have a rep. Yeah, I'm going to do 10 and stop. This guy went like 10 minutes nonstop, and he didn't skip a beat.
He didn't.
He was nonstop. Yeah, unbelievable. Five exercises nonstop. I love it.
So that was the first and only time I
read
worked
his
out for David Goggins' workout. I haven't read his book, no.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good.
It's
about just like his strength and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's definitely on my list to read. I mean, going like so that workout was one of the first workouts I did when we were in lockdown. Yesterday, funny story, I met a guy in Kijiji to buy kettlebells.
Okay.
So I ended up buying a 50-pound and a 35-pound kettlebell, and I went all the way.
Heavy.
Sorry, so I underestimated that they're actually really fucking heavy.
Yeah, 50 pounds. If you just started working on kettlebells, that's pretty heavy.
It is. So I got to be careful. So the 50-pound is going to be reserved more for squats and swings, because I'll be honest with you, I have weak wrists. So I was trying to do snatches, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna rip my wrist right off, right? But it was a situation. The situation was interesting because I drove all the way to Yorkdale to go meet this guy. He had his mask and everything, and I park up. I had my mask, so I made a lot of. I should have shown you. I have them in the other room, but my mom,
goddamn robbery.
My mom made all these masks as well. So I was wearing that, and then he literally just put the kettlebell in the middle of the parking lot between our cars. I e-transferred him, Brett, and I literally I Lysol wiped the fucking kettlebells. Went back to my car. Another car pulls up, and he has a van, right? So he pulls out another kettlebell, puts it there, and I'm like, wow, this is like the reality that we're living in right now, where there's this extra sense of paranoia from everybody to interact with people around us that we don't know. A classic story would be even Costco. I went to Costco yesterday to do some shopping before I head back downtown for my fridge, and literally there was a lineup wrapped around the building of Costco. There was about, I think, 2-meter distance between each person lined up. And they only allowed a certain number of people in after X amount of time. And even when you were inside, like, I'm so used to going to Costco, and it's like every time I go to Costco, man, it's like ludicrous move, bitch. Like I have my car, it's literally like a rave it's like I got to maneuver my way through and go from A to B. But now I'm like, shit, there's so much room around me. And even when I pick something up, there's this paranoia of the person behind me that, okay, why are you touching it if you're not going to take it?
Yeah.
Right. So that kind of clicked in my head down a little bit, and it's made me kind of a little bit more, even the people around us, they've made everyone a little bit more, like I'd say, think twice when they touch something. Right.
Hopefully, right. We're not coming back. I don't think it's coming from this shift of where we've gone now. I don't think we're coming back. And we were talking about the other day about every once in a while, just throwing it out there, every once in a while, going back years now, I'd see someone from maybe someone Asian, like an Asian person wearing a mask. And you might be like, oh, why is this person wearing a mask? And you go back a couple of years, even years before that, and you never think, but then you start thinking about it. Or it's probably because back in their homeland, they've gone through some serious shit. And now that behavior is just standard, SOP. The SOP now is you're wearing a mask and you're going out like that. We're not coming back from this.
No.
I can't. I'm not shaking anyone's hand.
Nope.
It's over. I'm a huge handshake. I'm a huge hugger. It's not because I can't risk getting someone else sick. That's it. If I get my family sick, oh fuck it. I can't live. With a lot of shit I can't live.
Think about the habits we had before. I used to commute, jump on the TTC subway, no questions asked. Hold the handlebar, right? Push the elevator button, no problem. I went to my condo to pick something up 2 weeks ago, and I'm in the elevator, and the lady comes inside the elevator as well, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. She's looking at me to press the button. I'm looking at her. You press the button.
Did you want to eat?
No, eventually I got her to press it because I just stared at her. I'm like,
it's a staring competition.
It's a staring competition.
Closing and opening.
That's the sad reality that we're living in, and you're right, man. Like I think that the new normal, whenever it is going to be just this paranoia of catching some sort of virus and disease. And I feel like I'm pretty secure and confident in my immune system. What worries me is the people that I love and the people around me that are older and not getting them sick.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like my dad is back to work now. My dad works in a restaurant environment, so it's mostly takeout.
Okay, yeah.
And then
Indian food?
Indian food. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So no complaints here in Scarborough, man. I've been eating well. I've been eating pretty well. But what's your, so I guess, going into this, so this podcast is called Stay the Fuck Home. What's your, I guess, your top 3 things when it comes to, staying positive, staying sane, right? What's been working for you, first of all?
Routine, like some type of routine. It's so easy to fall off and get lazy.
Right.
Whatever. And that routine, like it's best. Don't have a shitty routine where you're just smoking cigarettes or drinking every day. Like, don't do that. I look at this as preparing for a fight. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to exercise. I was working out today, and I go to martial arts gym and get like a little class. One of the instructors, and I had my eyes closed for a second, and the familiarity of his voice or doing a certain movement put me in a better place. Like, I feel great, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, and go outside, go for a walk, get some vitamin D, and you can still do that.
Yeah.
Enjoy the city. Like, you're allowed to go for a walk, but only go out if you really have to go out, right?
Right.
And just I think you said it before. It's just because we're isolated in our homes, it doesn't mean we're isolated. I talked to you the other day, and that's important to do that, right?
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I feel like there's such common denominators now, because you're not the only one that have mentioned these 3 things. So many people have on this podcast, and I think that connection is so important. I've been reading a lot. I've been starting to read quite a bit, just because I have time as well.
Yeah.
I think it's an opportunity now for us to kind of also prepare ourselves for this new reality, that whatever it's going to be, right? Yeah. There's this concept or this school of thought called Stoicism. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I got a friggin' minor in philosophy. I know Stoicism.
Do you? Fist bump.
Your business fuck.
So first of all, I took philosophy in grade 12 as an elective, right? So it was nice to kind of read even like Plato's. Remember what was it called? The allegory.
Plato's algorithm.
Allegory of cave. Yeah. So, but going back to that, so Stoicism is like, it's this. I guess it's a belief system where you can endure pain or hardship without showing any sort of feeling or complaining towards it, right? And I think that's the situation we're in right now, where like we're really being tested.
What it is.
It is what it is. You can't control it, right? If the city is telling us to stay inside, but don't stay in and complain. Like I do feel bad, and I do empathize with a lot of people out there. Like, I've been following a lot of fitness instructors.
Yeah.
Whose main source of income are these gym classes, right?
You're right. And going back to Stoicism real quickly, Bruce Lee said it best. You got to be like water, right? Or be like water. You got to adapt to everything. And even though those fitness instructors, like you said, a lot of them are moving to online stuff. You have to adapt with the new world that we're dealing with, and if you don't do that, you're going to be left behind, right? I had someone on my feed. Sorry, real quick. Is that he's a gym guy? He owns a gym. Mm-hmm. He's like, make gyms essential services. Make gyms essential services, because people need gyms to be, right. And I think again we're dealing with people that are just looking for their own interests and not for the greater good. Because gym, it's important, but I mean, if we want, what's the bigger picture here is to stop this virus from spreading. Gyms are that, right? If we just got to do it for a little bit longer, it is what it is. Go for a walk, work out at home. I've been working out at home. I've been having great workouts.
Yeah, same. I mean, I've been working out. It's kind of taught me a little bit. I can work out at home. I do miss the community feel, which is great that we have access to social media. And these Instagram live workouts where we can, and the Zoom workouts as well, where you can kind of get connected with the people that are working out at the same time.
I've never done it. Are they good Zoom workouts?
They're pretty good. Yeah, I'll actually invite you to some if you're interested. But like, you know, going back to like what you were talking about, Stoicism, I think that a crisis of any sort, like if this pandemic didn't take place, what are some other things that happen in life? Death is a big one, you know, losing your job, you know, breakups. You're always going to be in a situation that will break you, right? This is a situation that's breaking the whole world right now, and we're being tested. Are we gonna like wither through this, or are we gonna just sit there and like be like, fuck?
I think people's true colors are coming out. I'm seeing a lot of different posts and stuff, and people have different masks that they like to portray themselves as, and really nice and all that kind of stuff. And then people's posts lately, I can tell their true colors. And no, you're full of shit before, because now when the heat's on, you're fucking cracking. Right?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Like a lot of people that are superficial and fake, you know, characters are being exposed. Yeah. And this is where like now, like carpe diem, live in the moment, literally live in the moment. People that, you know, and it's being redefined. What does it mean to live in the moment? And a lot of people were really reliant on external stimuli.
Yeah.
Right. A stimulus that relied on clubbing, a stimulus that involved interacting with other people and not being comfortable in our own skin and our own shell.
You have to validate yourself, right?
Exactly. Like constant approval seeking and all that bullshit, right?
And to what you just said is, I think a flaw that I've saw myself lately is I'm too much on this thing, too much on my phone, right? Okay. Like I just, and it's not a lot, but I've seen myself gravitate to that a little bit more, and I want to put a stamp on that, because it's fucking bullshit, right?
I was gonna actually, it's funny you said that. I was gonna ask you, what's the one thing you learned? What's the silver lining out of this that you took away?
Is you're saying be in the moment, and I say that too, is that be in a moment and be around my kids and stuff like that. But every once in a while, I'll see myself gravitate. Well, let me just go check what fucking social media account or this or that is. I shouldn't be doing it.
Right.
I catch myself doing it and try to rectify that.
It's so hard, man. Like, you know, you wake up first thing in the morning, and the first thing I do, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I instantly grab my phone. Obviously I grab it to turn the snooze button on so I can sleep an extra 5 minutes. But at the same time, you know, you grab your phone and you go onto Twitter, or you go onto Instagram. And I think that's a common thing that a lot of people can relate to, like to kind of put your phone down a little bit and minimize your screen time and do certain things outside of that, right?
Yeah.
What's your Roop? What's your message to everyone listening right now?
Oh, I don't have. You know what? I don't have any answer. I got no message for you. I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to keep me and my family good. I'm trying to be the best person I can be. I'm trying to be compassionate to fucking everybody out there. I'm not trying to be a dick and get someone else sick that's in a funeral home that's going to die by themselves. I understand that the world's it's all fucked up now. So I have no message for you. I got no answer for it. Just don't be a dick. Be compassionate, assholes.
Yeah, and if you are a dick and you end up going out, Roop's going to slap you with a big ass ticket, right?
Okay, smash it. No, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Just be nice, man. Like, you know, you're in a line. If someone bumps in front of you, don't fucking lose your shit off. Yeah, like, just chill out. Everyone's stressed out. Everyone's going through stuff. People are losing their jobs. Just be compassionate, you know?
And reach out to and I keep saying this again and again and again. I think that's the most important thing, is reach out to people that you normally like, that, you know, instead of you waiting for them to reach out to you, I think now is a good time to reach out to people that you haven't reached out to.
Yeah, I agree. Someone said something to me today, and I came back with some nice comment to them. Someone said to me, "Stop working out so much. You look like a crack addict." Right? I lost a bunch of weight and stuff. I feel like
you're looking good, buddy.
So I wrote back, "Stop eating so much. You look like a cake addict," which is very mean. But you ate your quarantine supplies, you fuck.
Yeah. I think someone had mentioned to me, because I was
sorry.
It's true, but you know what? To sympathize is like, it's so hard. Think about it. On a normal day pre-COVID, you're outside of your home.
Yeah.
You have so many distractions, right? Like, you're at least working, but for someone like me, I literally work in my house. I stay in my house. The only fresh air I really get is when I go for a run, right?
Yeah.
So it's
I
very
couldn't
hard for
imagine
me
being
not to
out.
eat. Like, I'll be like, hey, do I want a peanut butter sandwich? Sure. Or like, do I want a
Yeah.
glass of milk? Why not, right?
And everything kind of just revolves around food and snacks, and then you're getting into like glucose and all that kind of stuff, eating sugary foods and making you more hungry and all that kind of bullshit. So I get it. I mean, I was just being a kid, but I get it. Right.
I mean,
I feel it's tough for people downtown. Like, they have no backyard. I have a backyard. I have swing set for my kids and all that kind of stuff. I feel for the guys downtown.
So
really
my
do.
next episode is going to be recorded from my condo. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's, I think, when the real quarantine is going to kick in for me, because I'm going to be confined in the four walls of my condo. Okay.
Going back and forth. They back to your house downtown.
No, I'm not coming. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. That's for sure. I'm going to stay there for a little bit, at least until the dust settles, for however long that takes. But
About a month. You think a month or two? You think it's going to go on more than that?
you know what? Frankly speaking, I think it's going to be at the very least mid-June, mid to end of June. And even then, I can speak a little bit in terms of the corporate world. Not everyone's going to go back to the office right away. It's going to be a rolling effort. So
Why do you have to? If you guys can work now from home, what's the point of going back to the office?
Well, I mean, it's going to change the game and dynamics for a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to one of my buddies today, like, even restaurants, when they reopen, you know, the tables are going to be a lot more spaced out.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be about how many can we fit so we can maximize our revenues. Now there's a component of that from this pandemic that's going to take a toll on the way we interact, the way we go out. You know, you ask yourself, do you really want to go to a club where there's a fucking lineup outside and you know it's going to be packed inside, right? There's going to be that fear. And I think that fear, you know, they say it takes 21 days to build a habit, right?
Oh yeah.
We're way past 21 days.
We're not coming back from this.
We're not coming back.
No. We've changed. The dynamic of people has changed. We're not coming back. The narrative has changed. The game is.
It has. But Roop, thanks for coming by, man. Any last words? No. Hopefully, listen.
Eat your vitamins. Vitamins are so important. Be fucking healthy. Drink water.
You're the second one. You're the second one that's told me to eat vitamins, because I haven't been eating multivitamins, but yeah.
The most important thing with what's going on is that you said it earlier, is we're taking care of our bodies and stuff. Take your vitamins.
Take my vitamins. Gotcha. All right, brother.
All right,
man. Good checking in. I'll check in with you soon again.
Eric, at least you have beautiful, bold.
Not bad. I'm gonna keep it.
Keep it.
This is my post-apocalyptic bunker look.
Like 12 Monkeys, Bruce Willis. I don't know if you know that movie.
My mom thinks I look like an escaped convict, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, buddy.
Take care, man.
Peace out. Be safe, everyone.